In the headlines, bandits open fire on Maulud procession in Katsina, abduct worshippers. Court reserves judgment in Kano governorship election appeal. Court grants Naira Marley Sam Larry 20 million Naira bail. On the foreign scene, global aid agencies demand Gaza ceasefire as Israel hits Gaza shelters. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Umar. Thanks for joining. Now, many people, including women and children, were killed when bandits attacked a procession of Maulud celebrants in Kusa, a community in Musawa local government area of Katsina State. It is, however, unclear how many have been killed after the attack, but many have reportedly sustained injuries, with 17 persons admitted at the Katsina Orthopedic Hospital and others at the Musawa General Hospital. According to a resident, the bandits opened fire on the procession around 11:05 p.m. on Sunday, during which many were abducted from the scene. Confirming the incident, the police spokesman in Katsina, ASP Abubakar Sadiq Aliyu, said the bandits' attack shot and injured 18 people. Now, still on security matters, at least 12 farmers have been killed and several others are reportedly missing after an attack by suspected Boko Haram insurgents on rice farmers in Mafa local government area of Borno State on Sunday. It was gathered that the insurgents stormed rice fields and rounded up the farmers while harvesting their farm produce in Kirkuk and Koshebe general area in Mafa local government area, slaughtering them with knives. According to civilian joint task force, 13 dead bodies have been recovered and a search of missing persons still ongoing. A top security source said the terrorists on motorcycles split into 3 groups before attacking the farmers. Meanwhile, in another tragic incident, suspected Boko Haram insurgents have shot and killed a businessman based in Maiduguri on his farmland in Bama local government area of Borno State. The incident reportedly happened on the victim's farm, where 4 workers were also abducted. The gunmen invaded the farm, rounded up the workers, and attempted to kidnap the businessman. Eyewitnesses said there was a struggle between the victim and the insurgents before he was eventually shot dead. Earlier, we spoke to Daily Trust reporter in Maiduguri, Olatunji Omirin, on the latest incidents.
I think in the recent time, attack on a farmer has becoming something that occurring almost every day. I reported yesterday that there was an attack in Bama local government where a businessman was killed and 4 others were abducted. And last night also, some farmers from Subramari actually went to their farmland in Mafa local government area of the state, and they were run up while trying to access their farm produce, and more than a dozen of them were killed. In fact, I just spoke to one of the farmer, leader of the farmer in Sabramari a minute ago. I was told that 10 cops have already been brought, and they went to pick another 3 while searching for missing, and those that were kidnapped are still ongoing, both by security agency and civilian JTF. Yes, if you look at if you follow the trends over the years, these are doing their tactics, and they have been using this. They will not stop the farmer from planting the crops, but when it comes to harvest time, that is where we usually have. If we check last year, it's the same thing. We check they will behead a farmer, they will kill farmers, and they will actually went away with their farm produce. They have been doing this thing every year. It's not that maybe the number of the attack in the state particularly has not been kind of on alarming rate, but attack on particularly on farmers in the last 2-3 weeks has been increased, and that's what we are witnessing. But it has been occurring every year. So during the peak of harvest season, there are usually attacks on farmers. The security agencies, the military, the police, the civilian JTF, the hunters, the vigilante, the kishkis, they are really trying. they are trying their best. But don't forget that Borno State has a very fast land that is very, very fast. So for the security agencies to cover everywhere, I think it seems it's not possible. They cannot be everywhere at a time. So that is why the Boko Haram always take the advantage when they see that maybe some farmers, they don't have a kind of the Ango Ranger, because there is Ango Ranger that the Borno State government actually created specifically to protect farmers. And bear it in mind that the state government, the state government has been doing well in terms of supporting the security agencies, but they cannot be everywhere.
And now on judiciary matters, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the appeal by the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf, challenging his removal by the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. The tribunal had on September 20th nullified Yusuf's election by declaring 165,663 of his votes invalid. The tribunal held that the ballot papers were neither signed nor stamped by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Consequently, it declared the All Progressives Congress candidate, Nasru Gawuna, the winner of the governorship election. And still on judiciary matters, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has sacked Musa Ilyas Okonkosu of the All Progressives Congress and reinstated Yusuf Umar Detti of the New Nigeria People's Party in the Kura Madobi Garumalang federal constituency election. The three panel, led by Justice Tunde Oyebamiji Awotoye, allowed an appeal by Yusuf Detti and averred that the tribunal erred in counting the date of the appellant's resignation on the date of his party's primary election, and that Section 77 of the Electoral Act was misapplied, saying no court has jurisdiction on the issue of membership of the party. Meanwhile, the suspended INEC resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State, Hudu Yunusa Ari, has failed to appear at the State High Court in Yola for arraignment. Justice Benjamin Manji of the State High Court in Yola thereafter ordered INEC to produce him in court during its next sitting on November 23, 2023. This follows the failure of the police to serve the hearing notice to Yunusa Ari. According to the prosecution counsel to INEC, the police made several attempts to serve him the hearing notice by visiting his home without success. The defendant's surety also could not be traced. The presiding Judge Benjamin Manji, however, queried why the police, which granted Hudu Ari bail through a surety, could neither get the defendants nor the surety. He therefore granted the prosecution counsel's request of 2 weeks for the defendant to appear before the court. The suspended Rake Yunus Ari is facing a 6-count charge in connection with infractions during the 2023 governorship election in Adamawa State. Now, as the price of sugar skyrockets across many parts of the country, residents in Kano have resorted to using sheltering and other alternatives. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the price of sugar has now hit 62,000 naira per bag of 50 kg. His report.
Hajia Halima Ibrahim is a popular soft drink trader in Kano. She says she either used saccharin to prepare her drinks or be forced to quit selling soft drink due to the high cost of sugar. However, nutritionists warn that consumption of sugar is highly dangerous to the human body unless one is diabetic.
What is there inside saccharin is nothing more than benzoyl bromide. And that benzoyl bromide is very, very dangerous and is very, very poisonous at times to the body, because it is only giving the mouth taste. That sweet taste is only what is there inside. But when it comes into the body, the way how the body is trying to metabolize, catabolize, anabolize, and amphibolize, so it is very difficult.
Other food additives used as alternative to sugar in Kano include sweetener and aspartame. Again, nutritionists say these additives can be dangerous.
All of this, we call it food additives. Food additives in terms of flavoring agent, coloring agent, preservative agent, or sweetening agent. Aspartame and sweetener, they are all what we call sweetening agent. They are substances that use to modify it as just like a sugar. You can even feel the taste of sugar, but there is no something like glucose or fructose inside that substance.
Meanwhile, expert believes that refined sugar is not the only source of glucose for the human body, as there are other kinds of food one may consume to get the necessary glucose for the energy his body requires.
All form of cereal like rice, like wheat, like corn, guinea corn, maize, sorghum, and others, it's all sugar. Because what we call sugar is carbohydrate. What we call carbohydrate is glucose. What we call glucose in our body is served as a fuel to our brain.
Be that as it may, the price of sugar has continued to rise in Kano State as residents now intensify the use of these alternatives capable of causing life-threatening ailments. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, as a fallout of the removal of fuel subsidy and inflation in the country, there is an uneasy calm among residents of Makurdi who visit the markets. In spite of adjustment to living standards, many households are lamenting that they can no longer meet the minimum needs of life. Jimmy Azande reports.
Prices of commodities, especially foodstuff, are on the steady rise. According to respondents, these prices increase almost on a daily basis.
If things are this high now, what would be the fate of Nigerians when it's December period? Oh, God, I cry. No, the price of dollar has increased, the removal of fuel subsidy has really affected everything, and the life is very miserable for the average Nigerian. Some of them go as far as not eating for a whole day. Some of them just eat in the morning and they don't eat again for the rest of the day.
The residents also said the government has no idea of the true situation masses of Nigeria are going through at the moment.
Next month, we know that it will get worse than this, and it's really tiring. We don't. A carton of Maggi used to be less than 13,000 naira. As of yesterday, we're getting the 50 pieces a pack for 14,500, which was not like this. And by next month, we know that this price will still go up because it's usually like this during the festive period, and it's draining. We don't know how to do it. If the government can only make it easy for us, we are trying.
In spite of the inflation and subsidy removal crisis, Makurdi residents are alleging that middlemen are taking advantages of inflation and subsidy removal to raise prices.
Transportation, before I go modern market, from here to modern market, 300 naira, but now they go there 500. So if I come back, I calculate my expenses, things will go up small. I think because I'm done. That's subsidy way they remove, way they no plan now.
The authorities should, in a way, try to make sure that prices of things in the market, in a way, I don't really know how to do it. They don't have to do it directly. They have to go directly, maybe stabilizing some things. Yeah, then make those things accessible to students, accessible to the average Nigerians, those that don't have money to buy. You get, that's the only way we can make Nigeria a better place.
In Benue State, though reputed as a food basket of the nation, the recent price hike has left the masses in a state of uncertainty. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. After the break, we tell you why visual impairment cases are on the rise in northern Nigeria. Details of that and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Human beings know what is right. If they don't want to do what is right, they will give you 1,001 reasons why they are doing the wrong things.
They see themselves as conquerors, and other people have been conquered.
When
when the opposition and the press keep parroting that phrase, government has failed, but we will not be here, hold on, we will not be here, sitting down here, if government has failed.
There has been almost total collapse of the security outfit. And the terrorists are taking advantage of this. On that, a country that has about 923 square kilometers of arable land, not more than 2.5% has been cultivated.
Of course, you, the Nigerian citizen, will also have your say via our phone-in numbers on your screen.
The issue of appointment in Nigeria has become more political than doing the right thing for the country.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. Bandits open fire on Maulud procession in Katsina, abduct worshippers. And court reserves judgment in Kano governorship election appeal. Now to other stories. A magistrate's court sitting in Yaba, Lagos State, has granted Naira Marley, a Lagos socialite, Sam Larry bail in the sum of 20 million naira with 3 responsible duties. Naira Marley, Sam Larry and 2 others were arraigned on October 6th and remanded over their alleged involvement in circumstances surrounding the death of a musician, Mohbad. As part of the bail conditions, the defendants are to surrender their passports and make weekly appearances at the State Criminal Investigation Department. Now, the rate of eye-related diseases in some northern part of state in Nigeria is rapidly growing as thousands remain at risk of losing their sight. The recent outbreak of infective conjunctivitis has signaled the gaps in eye health care services, especially for rural communities. In this report, Trust TV's Adamu Imam speaks to specialists in Jigawa on the development.
According to available data, there are at least 1.3 blind Nigerians, and about 80% of blindness in Nigeria is from avoidable causes. Visual impairments have physical, emotional, social, and economic ramifications, and they play an essential role in determining one's quality of life. A specialist speaks on the prevalence of eye diseases in northern Nigeria.
Because many people, they don't know that they have eye problem. The advice that we give, any time when you have any problem, refer it to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, find yourself in the ophthalmology department where they will find a simple visual acuity. They're checking visual acuity. You measure someone's visions, it will help us to even reduce the burden of blindness. Then cataract surgery. We embark on major eye outreach where we are going to the community level. We start operating people there. This one will also reduce the number of blindness.
With the dry season setting in, eye infections have been spreading across communities like wildfire.
So definitely during the harvesting period, some people don't have money. That's why they don't use money during the rainy season. But immediately when the harvesting period started, you see the people are trooping. They keep on keeping their own problem till when they get them one. So now it's harvesting period. That's why you see the place is always congested.
Some patients speak in their experience while undergoing treatment.
Sometimes I feel something is itching me. Sometimes it's getting red, and so on. And what I'm using at home, I use warm water with salt and wash my.
If I want to watch television, it is always difficult for me because I don't see clearly. I have been on treatment and managing it as well for over 2 months. Then afterward, I resumed consulting the eye care specialist here in the hospital. There was a time they gave me eye drops, but it still persisted. That's why I'm still struggling to regain my sight clear.
While a significant part of visual impairments or eye diseases can be linked to age, a lot more people are dealing with prevalence ailments that, if left unchecked due to inadequate healthcare services, could lead to permanent blindness. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
In another development, the National Drug Enforcement Agency says it has recovered no less than 14 million pills of tramadol and bottles of codeine syrup worth over 13 billion naira in a street value in Lagos State. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the Director Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday. He said the operatives of the agency made the recovery in 3 major bust-up drug cartels operating in Amowo Odofin, Edomota, and the Sako Shade of the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. The 3 intelligence-led operations, according to the NDLEA, began with raid of House 8/10 on Wahuha Avenue, the Vine Estate of Amowo Odofin on Sunday, 29 October. Where 49,000 pills of tramadol and 81,519 bottles of codeine syrup measuring 4,510,000 mLs were recovered. It added that in a similar operation on Tuesday, 31st October, NDLEA operatives swooped on a secret warehouse operated by a billionaire Edomota trader, Wahwa Anayo, located at Onitiaya, Agoda area of Sorolere, where 12.7 million pills of tramadol were recovered. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives have arrested the 3 blind men operating an illicit drug ring between Lagos and Kano, while another blind member of the syndicate is still at large. And now away from Nigeria, as heavy bombardment continues through the night across Gaza, 18 UN and other humanitarian organizations issue statement calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. At least 9,922 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza and the occupied West Bank since October 7th, where more than 1,400 people have been killed in Hamas attacks. The party of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas condemns Israel's barbaric war of extermination. The UN says 88 UN RWE staff killed in Gaza, the highest number of UN fatalities ever recorded in a single conflict. Jordan says its Air Force parachuted urgent medical aid to the Jordanian field hospital in Gaza. The Gaza Strip has now been divided into 2 by the Israeli army for people still stranded in the northern part. There are difficulties trying to evacuate. And finally, on sports news, the hope of Team Nigeria in hockey to book their place in the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris ended on Sunday after they suffered a heavy loss to South Africa in the final. The South Africans dominated the game and 30-Zulu won an early penalty corner, and Terry Lombard converted with a touch from Cornita Bobs. The South Africans made 3-0 early in the second quarter when Jean-Luc Du Toit netted almost a trademark drag flick from a penalty corner as the Nigerian women appeared helpless to deny South Africa. Things got even better for the South Africans as they stormed into the half-time break with another 2 goals and a place at Paris all but confirmed. That confirmation received further backing in the third quarter with a hat-trick completing deflection from the Tyrion Lombard before Paris girl Isaacs scored her first international goal for the country, getting on the rebound of her shot to make it 8-0. Christian Patton saved the game with a 9th goal as the South Africans wrapped up the victory 9-0, completing the tournament without conceding a goal. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.